Welcome live streamers, you are coming to us here at Langlands Park at Coorparoo for the Sunbowl State Championships here for Gridiron Queensland. We are here for Sunbowl 30 for the men's division, the Colts Sunbowl, and the 3rd annual women's Summer Bowl here. I'm Kenny Andres, resident voice of GQ, and right now I'm joined here with, I'll start with my left here, the Vice President of Gridiron Queensland, as well as one of the coaching members from the competing Bayside Ravens today, Ben Sinapati. How are you feeling about things today?
Yeah, good. Ready to rock and roll.
Mate, obviously, we'll start with your GQ side of things so far. As a Vice President, you've been a large part of setting this up today, and it's looking wonderful. The weather has been fantastic to us. We have a jumping castle over to our right, and the field is looking absolutely glamorous. Are you proud of what the what's going to go ahead today?
Yeah, absolutely. The Gridiron Queensland Committee and our volunteers have done a fantastic job, our sponsors, and the clubs involved with today's event. You know, the Stingrays with all 3 teams involved today. It's been a mammoth effort, and so we're looking forward to seeing how the day pans out, and hopefully it'll be a good show.
Absolutely, and we'll come back to my right now, and here I have the president, and I should be a very proud president here, Craig James, the president of the Gold Coast Stingrays. Mate, you've got three teams competing here. That's the first time in history since we've had a women's comp join us in the Sunbowl. Surely you're the proudest president alive right now.
Yeah, very happy about how things have worked out this year for the Stingrays. We've got a lot to play for today, a little bit of history to be made. We're feeling confident.
Absolutely. Obviously, your first game we're going to see now, and we'll give a bit of a preview to it. We've got the Colts game. Now, your Colts had won almost every game this year. The only game they dropped was, in fact, to their competitors today, the Sunshine Coast Spartans. What's been the training team and the training attitude at this week at practice? Has it been confident?
Yeah, the boys have been very confident. They've lifted their game. The game they lost against the Spartans was probably a bit of a wake-up call for them. If any game to lose, I suppose that's the better game to lose.
Absolutely, and then obviously following that, we've got the men's. Look, you guys have been the reigning premiers for the last 4 years, and you've had a whole rich 10-year, you know, the last decade has been absolutely filled with trophies for you guys. Once again, surely you're the strong you know, the favourites for today. Surely that's going to be a comfortable position to be moving in today's final.
Yeah, very comfortable. We've won 7 out of the last 8. We're going for 8 out of the last 9 today, 4 in a row. We've got everything to play for today.
Absolutely, and we'll get a quick response there from one of the competing coaches for the men's game, Ben Sinapati. Look, they're absolute giants when it comes to Sunbowl games. Do you feel your team's up to the task to slay some giants today?
Well, we have no choice but to be. So, look, Stingrays deserve to be favourites today. They've earned that. There's no denying that. But at Bayside Ravens, we've prepared as best we can. Previous 2 games we played this year against the Stingrays, they beat us convincingly. So, we've learned a lot from that, and hopefully we've prepared well enough to take down the Giants. But we'll give it a good crack. We'll see how we go.
Fantastic, and of course at 7 p.m. we have our women's matchup with the Gold Coast Stingrays taking on the Logan City Jets at 7 p.m. So we've got a fantastic day of gridiron ahead of you. Colts at 1 p.m. in a couple of minutes now. The men's at 3:30, and also the women's at 7 p.m. I'm going to be in the commentary with you, joined with Glenn Parker, who I'm going to throw to you right now. Thanks, guys.
And welcome to Sunbowl 2014. We're just having the early introductions, and we'll soon be announcing the teams coming onto the field. My commentator tonight, this afternoon, for the Colts game will be Kenny Andres. He'll be up in the booth joining me very soon. I'm Glenn Parker. I hope you have a great day, a beautiful day for football, and it'll be very soon. We'll get the teams on the field, the national anthem. At this time, I'd like to welcome we'd just like to make sure that everybody has a good day today. Welcome to Langlands Park and the East Tigers Rugby League. Beautiful venue, beautiful day for footy. The field looks fantastic. You'll see our volunteers around. If you need ask any questions, please ask somebody. The teams are ready to come on will be the Gold Coast Stingrays and the Sunshine Spartans for the first game, the Colts game. We're just waiting for an official announcement to come through, and we should be ready to rock and roll soon. The officials just joining us on the field today. We welcome the members of the Queensland Gridiron Officials Association onto the field for today's game between Gold Coast Stingrays and the Sunshine Spartans. At this stage, I'd like to welcome Kenny to the booth.
Yes,
and Kenny, and we're just about ready to rock and roll. How do you see this one going, Kenny?
Absolutely. Look, I've been fortunate to look at both teams very closely throughout this year. The Gold Coast Stingrays, they've got the largest roster in the Gridiron Qd Colts division. They're one of the most well-drilled behind Greg Glasser and, of course, the legendary Jeff Hiddleston. But I think the Spartans might just have that little bit too much X factor in their game. Jason Goff is someone we're going to look for, number 10, the free safety and kick returner, as well as Michael Gilmore.
Yeah, I'm kind of inclined to agree with you there, Kenny. What I've seen from myself and on the internet and so forth, the Gold Coast team very strong. The Spartans look like they do have a bit of an X factor. I guess it'll pan out today. We'll see how we go, but this will be a beauty.
Absolutely, I'm excited. This is, number 1 versus number 3 here. The Spartans finished the season very strong, well deserved to be here. Alrighty, I think we're just about to see the run-on teams here. We've got, as you see, in blue and navy blue, we've got the Gold Coast Stingrays, and in orange, the bright orange there, the Sunshine Coast Spartans. As they run on, we'll be announcing both lineups there. Starting off with the number 1 team that finished number 1, which is the Gold Coast Stingrays. And what you're going to see, ladies and gentlemen, one of the newest exciting parts of our presentation today, Vulcan Fireworks, providing a fantastic pyrotechnic show for us today.
And here they come, Kenny, the Gold Coast Stingrays.
Yes, we do. At number 2, Joseph Duran. DB, Lachlan Bell. John Kari playing wide receiver and a bit of quarterback. Connor Napier at D-line and tight end. Josh Glasser, he's the starting quarterback. Brody Carrick at linebacker. Jacob Farrell at cornerback. Ashley Gwamba at wide receiver. Josh Elliott, strong safety. Daniel Chow, strong safety. Nick Ray at fullback. Mackenzie Ferries playing corner. Darcy Chalks at wide receiver. Michael Kovac at running back. Benjamin Karikara, brother of earlier Karikari, he's at running back. Bailey Robertson at D lineman. Nicholas McMullen playing cornerback, he's a rookie there. Kai Glasser, the running back, he was for the Future Stars earlier this year. Kalen Berquist is at linebacker. Luke Marinovsky, he's at strong safety. Kyle Gooch at running back. Shane Salmon at centre. Adam Firebeck at O-line. Cameron Clutterbuck joining him on the O-line. Ben McCarroll at linebacker. Jesse Fiebig and Giles Evans at O-line. Bailey Johnston at wide receiver. Ben Wilson at cornerback. Missiona Ayolupatea Pei, he's a star player. He's at tight end, defensive end, and also will be a kick returner. Tyreek Farmasili, he's at D end. Jake Cerrone at D line. Kelly McCown, D lineman. Miles Rasmussen, he's at D line as well. And Philo Roche joining them on the defensive end. Ryan Newton is also playing D line and fullback. And finally, we have Juventus Farmasili at defensive end. Of course, they're head coached by Greg Glasser, Jeff Hiddleston at assistant coach, and Serena Richardson, the first women's Colts coach. Now we're kicking over to the Sunshine Coast Spartans. Take us away there, Parky.
Yeah, the team the closest to the commentary booth in the orange, bright orange there, and the white helmets is the Sunshine Coast Spartans down from the North Coast. And their list is number 5, Hayden Worst. He's wide receiver cornerback. Number 7, Dion White at quarterback. Number 10, Jason Goff is a wide receiver. He's also playing free safety. Number 12 is Michael Gilmore. He's a D end and a running back. 19 is Jordan McLeod, running back and free safety. 20 is Caleb Gruel-Paper. He's a wide receiver and a cornerback as well. Number 33 is Rihanna Ren Cuss. She's a cornerback, wide receiver. 37 is Christopher Eldon. He's on the D-line. 42, Brendan England, and he's an offensive and a defensive lineman. He'll be busy today. 51 is Mitchell Frisk, he's a linebacker quarterback. And number 57 is William Outridge. Number 60 is Benjamin Graham at D-line, O-line as well. 64 is Matthew Smith. He's D-end, looks like, an offensive lineman. Number 65 is Jordan Hulls on the O and D line. 70 is Tyler Fretwell, also an O and D line. 71, Zachary Stewart. He's a linebacker and a wide receiver. He's a rookie. 71 is Zachary Stewart, linebacker, wide receiver, rookie. 75, Benjamin Rickhart at D-line, O-line, also a rookie. 76, Lachlan Torrisi at D-line and O-line. 84 is Thomas Gilmore. He's a corner, and he's also a wide receiver, a rookie. And number 88 is Billy Copeland, and he's a rookie. He hasn't got his positions, but we'll soon find out during the day. Here, their head coaches Matthew Noonan, and Luke Chapman is the offensive coordinator. And the assistant coaches are Brendan Phillips and Benjamin Goff. Your Sunshine Coast Spartans in the orange.
Indeed.
We'll be now heading for the national anthem, and that'll be sung directly in front of the commentary box.
Yeah, the young lady
today.
Her name is Keely. She'll be taking the national anthem.
Millions all let us rejoice, for we are young and free. In golden soils and wealth for toil, our home is girt by sea. Our land abounds in nature's gifts, our beauty rich and rare. In history's page that every stage advance Australia fair. In joyful strains that let us sing, advance Australia fair.
Thank you very much, Kelly. We're back now. That's the national anthem. We will now...
All right. We're back. And you're back with us here in the booth. It's Kenny Andres here, and I'm joined with Gridiron Queensland royalty with Glenn Parker. So we're going to have the coin toss soon here with the captains to walk out. But as we discussed, it's going to be an extremely exciting matchup between today and for once, compared to last year, I think it's fantastic to see some Colts football being played in the sun. Hey, Glenn?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, last year it was a heck of a game, but it started off obviously in the wet, and it was pretty warm by the time the boys were out there, and it became extremely humid. The field's a picture. It always is here at East. It was last year. It was perfect. This year, it looks even better than perfect, if that's possible. The groundsman here at Langlands always does a fabulous job, and he's had more time to make sure it's absolutely immaculate, and those lines from up here are fantastic, and I'm pleased that we're producing such a beautiful sight out on the for the internet for everybody. The captains will soon be going to the middle of the field for the coin toss from the head referee, and they have their introductions. Just mentioning one thing about Tony Wiles as one of the he'll be the umpire, it looks like, today. It's his last day, if you like, of officiating for the Queensland Gridiron Association, and I've known Tony for probably 30 years, so it's a sad day to see him step off the gridiron, but he has certainly lended his efforts in the Gridiron Association here in Queensland.
Absolute great 17-year umpiring career, or refereeing career for him. So, referee Gary Kendall is now bringing the captains to the middle of the field for the coin toss. For Gold Coast, we have number 43, that's Shane Salmon, as well as Josh Glasser. He's the starting quarterback. Number 96 is Ryan Newton, and I think it was number 20. Didn't quite catch that last number.
I think it's 20.
Number
20
flat, yes,
yep.
And that's Josh Elliott. All of those guys are some of the most experienced players for that Gold Coast unit.
You see the Stingrays head onto the field, Kenny, with hand in hand always with the Stingray. It's part of their tradition of the Gold Coast club since when they came into the league. It's always been the case, and you'll hear probably the loud chant of Stingray pride, and that's always been the case with the Gold Coast Stingrays. Very proud of the club.
Indeed.
So we'll just see what the referees had to give our information on who is doing what today. It looks like the Stingrays had won the toss and deferred, and the Spartans have taken the football.
For those who have joined us late, I'm going to say welcome to all our people joining us via live stream. I know for a fact that we've got, I'll give a shout out to Gridiron Tasmania, who have a 60-man party checking us out today, as well as one of their members joining us on the officiating staff. We'll get a name soon. And on top of that, I also know that we have the Glasgow Tigers staying up late, and they're watching us from the Gridiron Glasgow Tigers, watching us from Scotland. So hello, as well as to former Gridiron Queensland member Thompson Sunderland, who has organised that for us. So we are moments from kickoff now. As we saw earlier, the Gold Coast Stingrays, they won the toss, they chose to defer. So on the field first, we're going to see this Spartan offensive unit, which can score from anywhere at any time. So
yes, a lot of pace on there, Spartans. I definitely, one thing I've noticed about them is that they're very quick, and that's going to test this rather large Gold Coast unit up front in particular. But, you know, Gold Coast.
And as we go through that, we've also got our referees and officials today. At referee, as I mentioned earlier, Gary Kendall, he's wearing the white hat. At umpire, who we got?
Tony Wiles, that man Tony Wiles, 20 plus years, and most of those as umpire.
Yep, and head linesman, we have Dave Honkinson, who's in his second season. And a couple of the other guys, and as you saw the rest of there. One thing worth mentioning, and perhaps they won't want me doing this over commentary, but the Gold Coast have had they've had a lot of attempts at onside kicks throughout the season, and we'll see if they're tempted to try that here in the biggest game of the season so far, especially with the kick returning threat that is Jason Goff sitting back there on the 5-yard line, number 10.
Excellent. You'll see the players line up for the start. They must have 1 foot behind the line at some stage as the ball is struck. And there we go. We have the first kickoff of the Junior Sunbowl. The ball is a short kick, taken by the Spartans and heading left down the side of the field. Big hit in the middle there, 96 for the Stingrays in on the tackle. It looks like Ryan Newton to me, one of the D linemen. And as well, a pretty good hit, but the Spartans will have a good field position, Kenny, around about the halfway line.
Indeed, the return there from Zachary Stewart, number 71. I don't think he was expecting to return a kick today.
No, that was last on his mind today, but he managed to get it back to the 49-yard line, first and 10 with the North Coast Spartans, Sunshine Coast Spartans, I should say.
And as I said, Gold Coast
Hi guys, welcome back to Sunbowl 2014. This is the Colts game, and we got the present score at Sunshine Coast Spartans are up 26-0 over the Gold Coast Stingrays. Bit of a surprise, Kenny, to have so many scores, but the Spartans are all over the ball on all three sides of the football.
I think so here, and the Gold Coast, they really haven't been able to break past halfway offensively, and defense all looking all right. I mean, defensively they haven't given up too much there. It really has been a matter of the special teams and defense really putting the Sunshine Coast Spartan offense in fantastic field position. So
it is very much a case of taking the opportunities as presented to you. Obviously, the Spartans, clearly they're playing a good game, but every opportunity that has bounced their way, they have made every post a winner. And number 12, of course, our old mate Michael Gilmore, he's taken it to the house several times, and he has made every single down his down.
Yeah, so, well, look, he scored got a receiving/rushing touchdown in first half. Also got a pick. Well, pretty sure he got a pick 6 there as one of the scores there, and he's made a handful of plays in the backfield there. He's been an absolute nightmare for the Stingrays offense there, and defense for that matter. It's been an absolute clash of the titans between him and Missiona. We'll leave it at that. Who's been a big physical clash between those two guys. But the Spartans, as I said, they've been the ones coming up with the big plays, and they provided the X factor here in this game.
Without doubt. I mean, obviously Michael Gilmore at this point is he's the coach's best friend from the Sunshine Coast, and But having said that, of course, Missiona and the rest of his team have not taken a backward step. They haven't dropped their head. It's just a case of the Spartans taking the opportunities that are presented for them. So we're hoping that for the Gold Coast Stingrays, obviously their plan is to come out and be the early scorer in the second half. They have the opportunity, they have the football, so let's see what they do with it. Yeah,
and also we've got to note as well the play of Jason Goff. He got a pick 6 himself, forced a fumble early in the game, and made a couple of key tackles around the sidelines. So I would not be surprised to see him get in the end zone one more time before this game's over.
Yep, and also we're not forgetting Brody Carrick. I mean, he's having a very great game on defense, and I think it's only a matter of time before he picks one off as well.
Exactly right. Yeah.
And with his size and physical ability, anything could happen with him as well.
I think if the Stingrays are going to get back in here, I think they've got to revamp their passing game a little bit there. I think they started to get a little one-dimensional, passing it over to Missiona Ayuloputea. I mean, yes, he's a fantastic player, but you saw what happens when they looked him down. Michael Gilmore got the pick and almost took that to the house there. So I think they're going to have to start looking to a couple of their weapons there. Josh Glass uses his legs a bit more, get it out to Joseph Duran out wide, because they can't rely on that Missy to do all the work there.
Yeah, I feel sure that Coach Greg Glasser in the sheds will be saying exactly what you just said. We need to change a couple of things. Not necessarily that we're doing things wrong, but we need to change our format to maybe surprise the Spartans, or at least change something that the Spartans are reading so very, very well. Their defensive backs for the Spartans are having a great game. And so are the Gold Coast Stingrays DBs, but unfortunately, that's right. The Gold Coast need to change something up. But anyway,
about to kick off.
Here we go. Michael Gilmore kicking off again for the Spartans for the second half of the 2004 Colts Sunbowl. It's a short kick and taken short by the Stingrays, who do recover the ball right on the 50-yard line, and it'll be 1st and 10 for the Stingrays. 87, I think, was in on the possession.
I was just going to mention, with the threat that Missiona has been returning the ball, were they just going to go for a squib or even an onside kick? And alas, it happens.
Yeah, again, we're talking about changing things up, and clearly the Spartans decided, let's not kick it to him anymore.
Yeah, when he's returning it for 50, 60 yards at a time.
Yeah, exactly right. So I think obviously the kick was a little shorter than they thought they were going to do, but certainly they didn't want 85 bringing the ball back, Missiona. So 1st and 10, the Gold Coast Stingrays are 2 receivers to the right this time, and shotgun formation. And Missiona at right tight end, it looks like. A little delay there in the snap. The umpire just checking some equipment, I think, looks like, on one of the offensive players of the Gold Coast Stingrays being assisted by the Spartans. Very good sportsmanship there, and of course it's himself, Michael Gilmore.
Stingrays, equipment infraction.
Becoming the equipment manager for the Gold Coast Stingrays temporarily there, Kenny.
Tony Wiles. I think that's there. He's a good bloke. He's seen all types of equipment through his time refereeing.
I dare say. So it still will be 1st and 10 for Stingrays on the 50.
Yeah, the Stingrays timeout there, I think, is costing them due to equipment.
Oh, okay. They're going to swap him out. Obviously, that helmet is not going to do what they want it to do. So in comes number 11 for the Stingrays. That's Connor Napier replacing. He's just getting the play from the quarterback.
What's not good is though that takes out one of their first timeouts already, and that's a struggle when you're a team coming from behind.
Yes, it is a shame. But yep, they must wear the equipment correctly, and they couldn't get that quite right for the player in question. So it'll be 1st and 10 on the 50 for the Stingrays. There's a step, it's nice and clean. A little tuck and run, and then pressured quickly by 57 Spartans and slung to the ground. In on the tackle was William Outridge for the North Coast Spartans. There's a replay on the screen. You'll see him cut through and shed the block and follow the down line and just chase him down, basically. Nice play. Very nice play. And there was only there was a loss on the play, loss of yards on the play of about a yard or so. Ken, so it'll be 2nd and long, probably about 12 yards,
yeah,
11 and a half yards
from the 43.
Shotgun formation, exact same formation as the previous play. On the short side of the field this time, and looking down the middle, and read well. Intended receiver was Missiona, but read by number 10 from the Spartans, Jason Goff. Let's have a look at the replay on the screen. You will see. Well, we don't have one, unfortunately. But yes, here we go. Here we go. You'll see him open down the middle. Or intended receiver was 85 Missiona, and read by 10, and the ball falls incomplete. So third and 12 to go on the 47.
I think Duran is their deep threat on the outside there. I think it would be a bit of a mistake to try and I think you'll find that Missione is going to get double covered here.
Yeah, he definitely is, and the result of that is the pick. Well read there, Kenny. And yes, a pick there by the Spartans there. Looked like 34. Not too sure.
Look at this.
We'll have a replay. There it is. He does get up well. In fact, I think Michael Gilmore was looking for the ball there, but stole it out of his hands.
It was number 84, Thomas Gilmore. So the Gilmore brothers leading up Michael with the pressure and Thomas Gilmore with the interception.
Yeah, so teaming up on that one.
Yeah, no.
Poached his brother's pick there, it looked like there. But it's 1st down for the Spartans in their own territory, but in possession of football early in the second half. Here's a replay on the screen on that one. You'll see both Gilmore brothers involved, the pressure, and then Thomas taking the pick and gaining possession for the Sunshine Coast Spartans.
Mate, the Gilmore parents, they've certainly got some athletic genes in that family.
They do indeed, both getting up in the air on the same play, and one coming down with the football. Can't complain for that, can you, Coach? And this time we're looking at a little backwards pass there to 19, the receiver. Plenty of room, but ankle tap just as he was getting clear. Number 40 there, a brilliant tackle by Kaleem Berquist. He was looking at a very big gain down the sideline. Nice ankle tap.
He's made a couple of big plays. You'll see on the
replay, he's broken clear completely, but just got the right foot, or left foot actually, and the ankle, and down he come. So right at the line of scrimmage. In fact, a loss of 2 yards on it. So it'll be 2nd and 12 to go on the 43.
The Stingrays defense really need to turn it up. They're actually quite a unique defense here. They have a straight up 4-man rush and they play no safeties over the top. It's strict man-to-man coverage.
Straight up,
except for now.
We have an early release by 37 on the wide receiver on the outside here. That will look like Christopher
right of snap.
Ebden there.
Full start.
It'll be a full start against
37, 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
And it sounds like we do have the referee's mic nice, loud and clear there, an explanation of the play. So it'll be 2nd down, a little bit longer now. It'll be 17 yards to go from the 38. Shotgun still for Spartans, and they'll be having 4 receivers. 7 looking right, but then again over the middle. And Gilmore again cutting it to the left-hand side and brought down by 91 and looks like 95, both on combined tackle there.
Kelly McCown and Phil O'Roche backing up on that screenplay. Look, the screen was looking fantastic. They got the linemen downfield, but the collapsing defenders came back and shut that down before Gilmore could get going.
I like the way that Gilmore, he does get involved in the play, but you notice as soon as he got possession, he's looking upfield for the blocks to read and get as far downfield as he possibly can, obviously.
I like how he doesn't waste time. It's straight north-south.
Yeah, there's no mucking around with him. It looked like a slight movement again by 37. Christopher Ebden, and of course the side judge has picked that up.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 37. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
Referee Gary Kendall with the explanation there. Very clean and very precise. It'll bring up 3rd and even longer now. It'll be 18 yards to go from the 38-yard line.
Now, it's obviously the Stingrays are going to rush here, but one thing I must say here is that Dion White has barely been touched this game. I would have thought.
And then again, look at the way they read that. Oh, looking for the big tackle.
He's got room.
And beautiful.
He's gone.
Yeah, he's
gone,
down the sideline. There's no way they're going to catch that. Beautiful blocking. And again, as we spoke about earlier in the day, the read of the blitz and the little lob over the middle, and of course, Michael Gilmore again doing what he does well, and that's getting to the end zone. That's another touchdown for the Spartans, and what a great play. We'll see that one on the screen. You'll see 4 rushes, and just releasing Gilmore, and he has plenty of room. A fantastic
stiff arm there.
There's stiff arm on the last possible defender from the Stingrays, and lots of room down the sideline.
As well as that.
A nice run. It's
very unselfish blocking there from the wide receivers, Jason Goff, and the guys downfield really giving him the convoy to finish off the run.
That's exactly what a player wants, is good blocking.
What a
beautiful stiff arm. How much did on the screen? It looks so good on the screen, doesn't it? That was a great play. And plenty of speed to get to the end zone. So the Spartans are in again. They're going for 2 points again, Kenny. Bit of motion. Number 10 there is Jason Goff in the motion. And then a little pitch out to 19. He's looking for room on the outside.
Move
Can
himself.
he get a block? He might be very close to Pylon. He's in, I think.
He's got it.
I think
nice
he's
move in the backfield there.
Jordan McLeod on the carry. And the 2-point try is good. That takes it to 34 points to 0. The Spartans over the Stingrays pretty early in the second half.
It's a very interesting little play they got there. Most people just pitch that. They literally do throw the ball backwards.
He literally throws it like a forward pass, but backwards. It's quite interesting. He cocks the arm and delivers it like a normal pass.
Hey,
it's perfectly legal, of course, but
they've got over the end zone twice now for it, so it's working.
I guess that's the way he wants to do it, and it's very clean.
Spartans, look, they've got to be confident now, leading 34-0, 21-42 remaining. Look, this is a team with confidence now. It's going to be very, very difficult for the Gold Coast to try and make it a comeback attempt.
Yeah, the Stingrays really need something to lift their game. The Spartans are clearly shown that most of the things they've done today, they've thought about the way they've done it. So, again, I doubt they'll give this into the hands of, our old man, Siona. Then I don't think they'll give the Stingrays anything here, but the Stingrays are looking desperately for something. And again, a little squibby. It will bounce up into his hands, and he will take possession. Looking for that middle run. He's got it again. This time he has broken free, but he's not going to get over that halfway line again. Just one block he needs at the end.
Zachary Stewart making the key play there, stopping him from breaking free. He's getting very close every time he returns this ball.
Oh, he's definitely. You'll see here, Kenny, on the replay, the lovely bounce and in one-handed it, and just looking for that block up there. He loves that middle, doesn't he? He runs right up the hashes in the middle, and if he had one more, this will be a great angle here. You'll see the squib grip up into his hands and looking for that. There it is there. He's following that player there. Got the great block off him. But they had one more defender than he really wanted. And back to the halfway line. 1st and 10 Stingrays. Little movement. A little shift over this side.
New quarterback in.
Outside. Different quarterback indeed. And tuck and run to the left. He's looking for the room. 37 has him all the way covered for the Spartans. What a great play there.
That's, I believe they changed it up there. They were moving quarterbacks. That's John Kurikari, the 2nd-string quarterback for the Stingrays. Whether that's just to get him some experience in this situation now, or they think they can make a difference because he is a bit quicker. But I tell you what, I was having a chat to Ben Walker, the head coach from the senior team, last night on my radio show. He says there is absolute big raps from this kid coming from both of those Colts coaches. Some have said that he's potentially in line to eventually become some like the Damian Malloys they now have now, and he was even dropped in the conversation with Kyle Lowe. So. Yeah, well, he's got a big future ahead of him.
I'd have to say, with that, knowing Ben for about 406 years, I respect everything you would have to say to come through the Stingrays. They definitely are quarterback you. They do that. Look at this run here. What a great run. Turns inside. A great run, about 9 yards. Just going back to that quarterback situation, the Stingrays, the players you mentioned all came through their junior ranks and have been, that's a stable that they have down the Gold Coast, and be able to produce wonderful quarterbacks that become the centre of their club. And I would not doubt for a moment if they have high raps on this guy, that if he stays with the club, that he will become the new Damian Malloy, so to speak.
He's still got 3 years ahead of him, I believe, in junior, so he's got plenty of time to develop. He wasn't starting at quarterback this year. He's got a couple of years, and we'll see whether he stays at wide receiver.
We have a referee's time out here, and there's something on the sideline that they're not quite happy about.
Medic. All right, guys, we're kicking to our next ad to talk about motor and marine again. proud sponsor of the 2014 Colts Sunbowl. Motor and Marine is dedicated to providing Australians with a much more efficient and free way of selling your new used cars, boats, campers, aircrafts, caravans, forklifts, motorcycles, motorhomes, mowers, pots, trucks and pop-tops. For anything on wheels and water, Motor and Marine.
That quick break we just had there, guys, was because they needed some medical assistance on the Gold Coast Stingrays sideline. They just stopped the play to get somebody across the field to tend to one of the players in the sideline booth over there. So that's all been taken care of. So we're back live, and it'll be third and relatively short for the Gold Coast Stingrays. And we have this big movement they have again, and he's taking over the left-hand side. Looks like a flag on the play. Has plenty of yards and open field. He does have the first down yardage. However, the umpire has thrown a flag right at the line of scrimmage. That is usually going to be some indiscriminacy on the blocking on the line. It could be a holding, or it could be something along those lines. But we'll wait and see. There's a replay up.
Holding.
I don't see much
Offense,
in there,
number 12.
but so quick that he got outside.
10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay third down.
There we go. We do have a penalty against the offense. It will be a replay of the third down. And march it back 5 yards. No, it might have been was it a chop block or something like that?
Couldn't quite make it out there, unfortunately.
It's a holding call. We have a 10-yard, the referee, 10 yards back, and it'll be third down and 12 yards to go.
And that's got to be disheartening for them there, Parky. You know, you make a big play, especially through Missiona, and then it gets called back on a holding call.
Particularly when you do get Missiona in the open area, in the open field there. I mean, that's what they're trying to do. So let's hope they can get it again. The snap is in the hands and looking for that little screen again. And it looks like an incomplete pass this time. Intended receiver number 32. We'll see if we can get a replay on that one.
Even if he did bring that in, I think that was well sniffed out there. The pass was intended to Benjamin Kari, but
yeah, they looked like they had a couple of Spartans around. No problem. They had it covered for sure. But that's going to bring up fourth down, unfortunately, for the Stingrays. But this is one of those situations here, Kenny, when they're thinking, well, we're 34 down, do we go for it? And it looks like they may have pulled that card out of the deck.
I think so.
Not a real lot of future in kicking the ball away at this stage. They really need a first down to keep moving.
So Glasgow's going to come back. He's got two receivers to his right here.
Oh, and it looks like 12 to Gilmore. Look at him, timing pass down the right. Oh, unfortunately, overthrown. If anybody caught it, he does have a nice arm.
That's
Beautiful.
the first deep throw we've seen from either team so
far. That was the first pass that's gone past 30 yards easily. That was a really beautiful lofted pass, but it was incomplete, which means that it will be a turnover downs. So it'll be first down for the Spartans from the 42.
Guys, to remind you, to celebrate all the special players we've had this year, the Gridiron Queensland Season Awards Night for 2014. Time is running out to book for the GQ 2014 Awards presentation. Celebrate the best of the best next Saturday night. Tickets available from www.trybooking.com. Search Gridiron or follow the links from Gridiron Queensland website or Facebook or Gridiron Queensland's team app.
15 minutes and about 30 seconds to go with Spartans first and 10. They're on the 42 and they've got two running backs in I formation and a couple of receivers out to the right hand side. The snap is good. Hand off to the tailback number 19 there. That'll be Jordan McLeod again. A loss on the play. Nice tackle. And that was number 91 for the Stingrays, I think. Kelly McCown, I'm not too sure.
Yeah, it's fantastic penetration there from McCown. Between him and Ryan Newton, they've been getting in the backfield well enough, but Spartans getting rid of that ball out of the pocket real quickly. It's been hard for them to make plays towards the back end of this game.
Yeah, and clearly, I mean, the Spartans don't need any big bombs down the field at the moment. They're just happy to run the football and chew the clock down a little bit, I guess. No real need to go crazy and throw deep passes this time. It was a bit of a shame because we do like to see some really big plays from these fantastic receivers, but I'm tipping that's exactly what they're looking at here. And we have a timeout for the Spartans. Coach Chapman wants to have a little chat to his offense and maybe changing up a couple of things.
First team timeout.
And that was their second one for this half, actually, Kenny.
Yeah, but one thing we might mention for those who might be confused of why the clock's running in the Colts division of football, and this also affects the women's. The clock is, they play on what's called a running clock, and they play 2 30-minute halves, but until the 2-minute warning, which is the final 2 minutes of each half, the clock runs regardless of injuries and even timeouts, and the usual things like running the ball out of bounds or an incomplete pass doesn't stop the clock there. So the clock will continue to run until the 2-minute warning, to which then we move into regulation timing.
We have the replay on the screen of the last play. And here we go. You see the Spartans run that to the left-hand side, to the right-hand side, beg your pardon. And a quick read by the D-line. As you say, penetration by the D-line of both teams has been excellent today.
It is it's usually extremely difficult to run on this Stingrays defense. They play 4-man, 4 D linemen, something that hasn't been really used until this season. But
that's interesting.
Yeah, well, they've certainly been making an impact. But speaking about impacts, the major sponsor of the Gridiron Queensland and Australia's premier supplier of shot football equipment. Play hard, play safe, and play hard with Impact Sports Australia.
Okay, Spartans again with 2 receivers, and the quarterback actually comes out from under centre. So a direct snap to 19, who runs it around the right side, beats the first guy, has some room down the sideline, beats the second guy. Looks like he has first down around about the 30-yard line. Very, very close.
How about the creativity there, hey? We're going to see this as almost a wildcat formation to Spring McLeod there. He makes a little hurdle move and then lowers his shoulder for the first down.
I'd like to, from my point of view, I'd like to apologise to Coach Luke Chapman. I thought he would tuck it away, but he's come out with he wants to play some more trick plays. Well, when I say trick, something a little bit surprising. And what a good play that was. Nice run by the quarterback, actually.
Well, the running back acting as a quarterback, Jordan McLeod.
Exactly. Look at a wildcat situation, a nice scramble. First down for the Spartans.
With Dion White back at quarterback for this one.
No, we have a shotgun. A little bit of movement on the line. And flags are plenty on the play, so this is going to be a full start on the offense, but we'll let the referee confirm.
Friday snap, full start. Offense number 70, 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
Confirmation from the referee Gary Kendall. It will be a full start and 5-yard penalty on the offense, so it'll remain first down. It'll be 15 yards to go, and the ball is on the 36.
One thing we haven't seen from the Spartans, and perhaps we won't when they're up now that they're up 34-0, but it's almost never a Spartans game without a reverse or even a reverse pass. So
actually, something I was expecting. Yes.
Yeah, let's see if they whip that out at some point.
Particularly in 9-man football, where you have a lot of room,
yes, sir,
and a lot of very fast athletes. And we have the snap, and then we have the little pitch out for the sweep, so to speak, and cut back nicely.
What a spin move!
A couple of spins in a row, but again, those big fellas are right there again. 91, 92. And that's
Rasmussen and
Kelly McCowan, I think.
Yes, I believe so.
Nice on the tackle. The replay on the screen, you'll see the spin. The second spin move just spin basically into the D lineman, but searching for those extra yards, not giving up at all. It'll bring up a second and about 17 or 18 to go on the 36. The Spartans again with the 2 receivers to the right-hand side of the formation, and I-backs, one extremely deep. And that's that little pitch again. Oh, and a late block by 95 there on the quarterback.
He's
nothing to worry about. But it run around to the right-hand side of gain of about 6 yards. And the replay on the screen on that play, you'll see the way he pitches. Again, that pitch we talked about earlier, Kenny.
Yeah,
he likes to throw that rather than pitch it out.
Unfortunately for him, that won't count as passing stats if we have stats here. It'll still be a handoff.
Unfortunately not.
So all you GQ fantasy players out there, got to say that there'll be no points to Dion White's there for these.
Nothing for that one at all. No. But 15 yards to go, third down, and we're still on around about the 36-yard line for the Spartans. And again, we'll see that 2 receivers set to the right, number 10, number 20, and with the I-backs deep, good 7 yards. Motion, and this is the end around. This time we're looking at the end. A nice block.
Oh, he's
a nice cut there, but he's going to be brought down short of the first down, I would think. Won't be by much, but you'll see on the replay screen, Kenny, this beautiful kick-out block here. Here it comes here, and that's a great block. I mean, he doesn't have to. You don't have to kill a player, but he certainly influenced the inside cut by the carrier, and it's going to be 4th and about 11 yards to go.
Yeah, we thought that maybe Jason Goff was going to get a bit more of the ball here, but I think that game plan might have changed once they got so far ahead there.
Yeah.
So I think they're really relying more on the defensive side of the ball.
Very definitely. You'll see here that I think the Spartans are going to punt this one away by the looks of things. Probably attempting to, obviously pin the Stingrays inside the 10. And he's looking for the... In fact, he's done a nice punt. Big up and under. Looking for a touch, but he got
hang on, where's this going to bounce?
He's looking to ground the ball inside.
I think he's managed to keep it.
Now, this is going to be very important where they mark this. We'll have a look at this one, but...
That's an absolute hustle play from Jason Goff. If he's
big hustle by Goff there. Remembering that it's not the NFL. But here's the replay. A big up and under. I'm looking for possibly a side kick.
Oh, and we can see there's definitely a flag on that play for a much late.
Yeah, late flag on the play on a block. It looks away from the football, and the officials are talking about it. Here we go. Have a look at this one. You'll see the kick goes up quite high, and there's a Spartans player just standing around, not going to ground the ball. And here he comes, and there's a block right on the shoulder, which draws a flag.
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness. Number 95, receiving team.
I think the frustration might be starting to get to
the goal line.
I think that's a very, very clear sign of frustration. Nothing really malicious in the play. It was just completely unnecessary, and that's going to draw a flag every time in that situation. You see more flags on special teams than any other part of the game.
Yes, sir. It's a very physical part of the game. It's
very
the loudest part.
Very physical, and everyone wants to make a mark. Everyone's looking to do something. But anyway, it does bring up first down for the Gold Coast Stingrays. They'll still take possession of the football. It'll be 1st and 10 on the 10.
So I think what would happen there, I think they deemed it as a touchback, but that penalty will move them back to the 10-yard line.
That's exactly what it was, at half the distance back to the goal. Absolutely spot on. So it'll be 1st and 10. It'll be more of a pistol formation than shotgun, but the quarterback has the ball looking to pass over the middle. But he has to scramble outside. Now he's going to look for blocks, and he is doing a good job. Looks like he's going around right. Now he releases the ball, and it does cross the line of scrimmage and falls safely into an area untouched by any other player. So it'll be an incomplete pass. Look at the replay. You'll see the scramble here. Actually does very well to tuck and go back the other way, because there was a lot of Spartans in that area, and then he has the smarts to drop it past the line of scrimmage.
Once again,
and it'll be an incomplete, so 2nd down.
Yeah, it's John Kari, the quarterback we were talking about earlier. It looks like the Stingrays are definitely giving him some reps now and giving us some big game experience at quarterback.
Yeah, very good move by the coaches of the Stingrays to bring him in there and definitely get some experience, and even just to change the way you do things is always a good thing, obviously. Now we have two wide spread, fairly wide on both sides of the field here, looking for, and there's a player open. He's looking for it, has him there, but it's just overthrown. Intended receiver there, it appeared to be Missiona again, just over the top. You'll see in the replay how open he was on this play. He does fight off. I think with the scramble of the quarterback is what got him open, but unfortunately he was just overthrown. You'll see he was definitely looking downfield, but the scramble made him available, and it was just overthrown. Hard to throw on the run. It is, and get it right on the money. So, yeah, but a good play nevertheless, and that won't hurt him in his experience at all. Confidence building. So it will bring up 3rd down, and still 10 yards to go for the Gold Coast Stingrays after the 2 incomplete passes. Now we have a motion, and instantly draws a flag from the referee.
Right of the snap, delay a game on the offense.
Yep.
The 5-yard penalty, remain 3rd down.
Clearly there was a delay game, and announced by the head referee there, Gary Kendall. That'll send them back 5 yards again for the Gold Coast Stingrays. Looking at long yardage, Kenny, it's just difficult digging this hole to get out of it, but they have to get some confidence here, and hopefully they can drive the ball downfield.
Looks like the Spartans moved to almost more of a cover 2 look, and with the Stingrays trying to force this ball a little further downfield.
Here's that roll and tuck again, looking for the blocks. He does get a block, but I'm thinking on the edge there's a flag dropped, and I'm not going to tell you what I think, but I guess I will have to. It looks like a hold to me on the extremities,
I think,
by
so.
Missiona, but at least they're trying something.
It can be very difficult when a quarterback goes out scrambling. You kind of lose your idea of where the quarterback is.
Yeah.
And, your body position gets a little messed up, and that's where a lot of holds do happen when the quarterback gets outside of the pocket.
Yeah, you get your body in the wrong position, and you're trying to do the right thing, but you end up doing the wrong thing, unfortunately. But Gary Kendall, for the head referee, it looks like he's offering to the Spartans. But you bear in mind that was the 3rd down, Kenny, and I don't think they got the first down yardage.
Holding, offense, number 85. Half distance to the goal from the spot of the foul. Replay 3rd down.
And just while we're taking this short break and play, just remind everyone there is absolute free face painting just down near the jumping castle. You can get your face painted in your favourite team's colours, or perhaps something else. But it's absolutely free, so kids around the ground, get amongst it. Bring your parents, get their face painted too.
A lot of entertainment on today here at the field, other than the football, Kenny. It's great to see Gridiron Queensland with jumping castles and face painting and fireworks, and you know the show just gets bigger every year.
Fantastic job. I think it's going to get more and more exciting as the years go on.
Now we have the shotgun and looking for that. Oh, batted down.
Big Ben Graham with the play there.
That's unbelievable. Benjamin Graham, what a play. Just reached out with one of those size 11 mitts of his and bounced the ball incomplete. And that'll bring up the 4th down for the Gold Coast Stingrays. And unfortunately, it's just going to be way too long for them to try and attempt here. They're going to have to punt the ball away.
I think it's been fantastic with the Spartans. They're big players, all the way from Gilmore to Ben Graham and the rest of the D-line. If they haven't been able to get the quarterback, they'll be getting their arms up and really taking away a lot of these passing lanes from both of these quarterbacks who aren't the tallest guys on the field.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Guys, just as we talk about some of these fantastic junior players now, you would have just seen the graphic on the screen. We've got junior state trials coming up there, so check out our website and our Facebook for information there. You'll see it there. It's at Eagles Sports Complex, 3 Wheaton Street, Mansfield, happening on Saturday, the 13th of December,
Stingrays.
from 4 to 6, as
Second
well
team
as the
timeout.
following Saturday the 17th. More details will follow on Facebook Team App and Play Gridiron. And the timeout just happened there. So we're going to see a short delay in play there. It looks like it's from the Stingrays. They just wanted to get their personnel set.
Yeah, we had a late inclusion there, actually. It looked like they didn't have enough, and I don't think they could get back to the line before, so they called the timeout. So here we go. 4th down. Snap is good, and the punt is blocked by the Spartans and picked up in the end zone. But we'll wait for the signal. There is a flag on the play.
And who's the man?
We'll see if we can get this replay on this, Kenny, and see if we can pick up what happened here. But the result of the play was a block and possession by Spartans, but we'll have to see if there was any indiscretion. Here we go. You'll see it. Oh, there was.
The man who...
There was a block there, but that seemed to be by a Gold Coast Stingray to me, so we'll just have to see the result.
Personal foul, chop block, offense, number 13 and 23. The penalty is declined. It's all of the play is a touchdown Spartans.
Yeah, that's how it appeared to me. It appeared to be a low block, and you can't do that on any time of special teams, of course. And as we saw, blocked and possessed. You'll see it on replay, guys. You'll see the snap. And then
Fisher's timeout.
the block on the right there.
Michael Gilmore
There's a
with
2-minute
block
warning.
and recovery touchdown.
2 minutes remaining in the game.
Score of the day.
Oh, yeah. We also have brought up that play, and the result of that play was a touchdown for the Spartans, of course. It also brings up the 2-minute warning, but the clock is now stopped. This will be an untimed down anyway, but when the kickoff begins, the first possession will be 2 minutes left in the game. So at the current score is Spartans 40 with the Gold Coast Stingrays yet to score, and the Spartans look to be again going for a 2-point play here, Kenny.
Yes, which is
I know. Actually, they're setting up in a kick formation.
literally just as I was about to say, and I think we're going to get a timeout here. Oh no. Yeah, the Spartans are one of the few teams in the Colts division.
And the kick looks good to me. Front looks up and through. No, he's missed it. I apologise. Just to the right-hand side. So the game will, the points will be not any good to them. So it's 40-0, the Spartans. We might see the replay of the kick. A little bit of luck. Here we go. Here's the kick up. Plenty of height and distance, no problem there. But unfortunately, he just pushed it slightly to the right.
Yeah, no, I was just about to mention that the Spartans are one of the few, if not the only team in the Colts division who are genuinely going on a PAT attempt or field goal attempts at some sort of regular basis. Was very surprised for them not to try it a little bit earlier, but I guess they just backed their offense.
Mate, I have to say, it's one of the things in our sport that has gone probably on the back burner throughout probably all grades of the game. I mean, you know, even back in New Zealand, I've done some work in New Zealand with football, and it's the same thing. Everyone's interested in the 2-point. I guess it's something that they just don't practice anymore.
I think in 9-man football, I can understand it. With the 2 less men, it actually means a lot closer to blocking the kick. But we've seen a little bit of a revival in it, a little bit in the Colts, but we've seen a fair bit of a revival in senior football with a few more kicking PATs.
That's what we like to see. Oh, the ball is an unusual bounce. You know, I think the Spartans may even have the ball back.
Yes,
it looks
I
like
think they do.
You'll see it comes down here on the replay and straight through the breadbasket of the player trying to take possession. Then it does a bit of a pinball around, and I think 71 might be the player to come up with the ball. I'm not too sure for the Spartans. So it'll be first down Spartans inside the Gold Coast half again.
The day just gets worse for the Stingrays here. I mean, I don't think they were intending an onside. I think they're just trying to keep it away from Missiona. But
I can't remember in my my history in this sport of Gold Coast Stingrays in any form of football being down 40-0 in any game,
especially in a big game like this.
It's not that they're getting absolutely thrashed. It's just that the Spartans have done everything extremely well.
Yes, they have.
And we have looks like a timeout.
Timeout. Spartans. Second team timeout.
There we go.
Looks
Timeout
like
to the Spartans, Kenny, with 1:56 left to play.
It looks like they're getting a bit of a personnel change here. Here comes William Outridge. They're fullback usually in offense, and how comes Ben? No, I think they were just a play short.
Go now. I'll wait. So after the timeout, with 1:56 left on the clock, it's 1st and 10 for the Spartans on the 33, going in again. There's a snap, a good give to the running back, number 11, I think. I'm not too sure. He spun around, but it looks like it was 71, as a matter of fact. And that's going to be Zachary Stewart. And a slightly loss of the play. It'll be second and about 12 to go, maybe 13. 13 to go on the 33. So 1 minute 30 odd seconds to go. The clock is still running. You can see the reason for that. Of course, the player was tackled inbounds. So the clock continues to run until a timeout is called or an incomplete pass. We're inside the 2 minute of the game, or the half, I should say.
So with the
play clock is down to 7-6.
They better hurry up here.
And it looks like the Spartans are quite happy to take the delay of game, and it will stop the clock though at 1:04, obviously.
Delay game on the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains second down.
I guess the Spartans were happy to have a chat there, Kenny, with 1 minute 4 to go, and it brings up second down, and this will mean 18 yards to go on the 41 or thereabouts for the North Coast, for the Sunshine Coast Spartans. Second and 18. So they've sorted the personnel out, and they're ready to rock and roll. So they've given the nod to the referee. Centre has the ball, his hand on the ball, and it looks like they might be taking a knee here, I think.
Victory formation indeed. Spartans making the favourite formation of football, which is the victory formation there. They'll kneel it out, and we'll see this clock start to run here as they run the clock out, and the Spartans just moments away from claiming a Sunbowl victory 2014. You can see the excitement already happening on the Spartan sideline. They'll just pull out the final play of the game, which will be a knee here from Dion White. And both teams are moving to the sideline now. The Spartans just holding their excitement into the final whistle and the ball being raised. And it's final 10 seconds now. We're seeing the countdown. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And ladies and gentlemen, the Sunshine Coast Spartans, your champions for 2014 of the Colts division. You're going to see the exuberance from the sideline there. Matt Noonan, the head coach this time around, not Luke Chapman. He gets to celebrate as he adds a Sunbowl victory to his record. Linebacker Mike Gilmore, one of the few players who were here in 2010 with the Spartans took out the championship. 2011 when the champions got through. So we're going to head down soon to Glenn Parker, who's head down. He's going to have a chat to some people as well as lead the post-game presentation. And commiserations to the Gold Coast Stingrays, who unfortunately come off on the worst half of a 40-0 victory here, so we're going to let the Spartans have their moment. They're lining up now. You're going to see there President Richard Gill getting the brand new trophy designed for the Colts division to be presented to the the Sunshine Coast Spartans, as we wait for the Gold Coast Stingrays to have their final huddle and make their way over. We're also going to see both teams line up at the halfway and come and shake hands, which is a fantastic tradition that happens in our game, as both teams line across the 50 and shake each other's hands. As pre-game, as Glenn and I discussed, you know, some of the key factors that were going to happen throughout that game was Michael Gilmore was going to have a big impact on the game, whether it was defensively or offensively or even on special teams. He was going to affect this game, and with 4 touchdowns in almost all facets of the game, that certainly happened. Obviously, we saw the pick 6 happening, and we're about to go down to Glenn Parker pretty soon to do the presentation, but we're still waiting on the two teams to finish shaking hands there. So one thing that will be certain there won't be a Stingray washout there, but the Stingrays Colts have nothing to be ashamed of. They've had a fantastic season, and just caught the Spartans on a fantastic day, and the Spartans truly well deserved their championship victory here. They're second in 2 years. This year we've actually got a whole panel of judges to vote for the Sunbowl MVP, which has about 100 experience between them there, which one of them was head coach Andy Miller, who was playing in the playoffs, coaching for the playoffs for the Ravens last week. But I think it'd be a safe bet that Michael Gilmore could be a good option there. But we're about to throw down to Glenn Parker, who's going to lead the post-game presentations.
Welcome here to the presentations for the Colts division of the Sunbowl 2014. The winners today were the Spartans over the Gold Coast Stingrays, obviously, as we all know. First of all, we're probably going to interview a couple of players, and then we're going to get the president of Gridiron Queensland out to issue the formal celebrations. First of all, I'm not too sure who we're asking out first. Right, here we go. We're going to talk to some of the Stingrays boys here. How did that go for you guys?
They played a really good defensive game. We didn't get it done, obviously. You know, congrats to the Spartans, but we just couldn't get anything done. We couldn't get a rhythm going. They did a great job on defense and offense. Congrats to the rest of them. Yeah,
I guess the bounce of the ball was just not there today. I mean, it wasn't lack of effort from you guys, and obviously you didn't give up, and you guys worked really, really hard. From the booth, what I saw was they took every advantage from everything that was presented to them today. It wasn't, you know, I think the scoreline doesn't actually show the effort that you guys have actually put in, and I'm sure that you feel the same way.
Yeah, no, props to them. They did a good job. Like, we played our heart out, but they just played better on the day. Like, they did everything perfectly, and they just capitalised on our mental errors, and they just did a good job.
Yeah, I mean, you know, everyone feels for you guys. I mean, obviously the preparation for today, the effort you put in was exemplary, you know, and there was nothing out there that anyone could ever complain about the way you held yourselves in regard to the champion. But we do thank you for coming over. If anyone else wants to have something to say, I'm really happy, and congratulations on the effort this season for the Gold Coast Stingrays Colts.
Thanks for that.
And of course, I'm also joined by some of the Spartans captains here, and I'm just going to ask the obvious questions. How did that one feel, boys?
That is awesome. I mean, like the times we lost to them, 34-0, and then the last time we played, it was really close, but that was just awesome. And props to them. I mean, they played well all season. It was just bad luck today.
Yeah, I mean, clearly the pressure, definitely the pressure was the thing that we saw, you know, on the quarterbacks, and not only from you guys, but from them as well. But as a key that I said to the Stingrays was exactly, we thought that you guys took the advantage. Everything that was offered to you, you grabbed it, and, you know, that Gilmore kid had a pretty good game, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He always does. Yeah, MVP goes to Gilmore.
Hey, he did all right, I must admit. How did you guys feel? I mean, it's the second one in 3 years. This one... Yeah, wow. You've pretty much dominated pretty much in all three sides of the football. Do you have anything to say about that or anything? What, do you have anything to say to the Stingrays or yourselves about all your team?
Hats off to the Stingrays. They've been awesome all year, and they're probably the toughest team we've played all season. But then credit to our boys as well, and Rand, of course, for showing up the training and working hard and turning our season around.
Yeah, I mean, from what we saw, and I'm sure all the people here saw today and across the internet, preparation is everything. And you guys look like you had everything very, very well prepared today, and everything went your way. But, you have to make your own luck, and you certainly did that today. So congratulations to you and your team, and as the Sunshine Coast Spartans, boys. At this time, I'd like to call out the President of Gridiron Queensland, Mr. Richard Gill, we'll hand out the formal thing. So if we could get the captains and Spartans back for a second. Richard is going to hand out beg your pardon. We're going to have the Gold Coast Stingrays first, please. Sorry, guys. The captains of the Gold Coast Stingrays, please. The whole team can come. We're happy with everybody coming over, getting on screen. Thank you, lads. Yeah, bring up the captains, guys, and the whole team can come over. But can we have the captains up? We have the runners-up plate for the Gold Coast Stingrays. And Coach Classer, please, if we could have that. Just a lot of people don't know, but Coach Glasser, his son, also plays in the team, and two sons play in the team. I beg pardon. Well prepared, guys. As every Stingray team I've ever seen in 30 odd years. You guys are definitely well prepared today. Bounce of the ball didn't favour you, but full credit to you guys for keeping your heads up. And, there's nothing disrespectful the way you guys played football today. So Mr. Richard Gill, a presentation of the runners-up plate to the head coach. And, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd like to give the Gold Coast Stingrays one more round of applause, please.
Stingray captains to get the individual medallion.
Thank you very much, Gold Coast. We have the Spartans captains up, please. The first part of the presentation for the Spartans is of their individual medals. We will give the medals to the captains, and they'll distribute to the individual players in due course. Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have the medals. Well done, the Spartans. And, of course, to the coaches of the Spartans, what a job. Well prepared and excellently executed today. Well done to them. The next thing we're going to do in the formal presentation is what everybody here would like to see is the MVP award for the game today. It's fairly, I guess if you watch the game, you know who it is. We said his name several times, but I won't delay any further. Michael Gilmore. Michael only just wanted to say that he wanted to thank all the fans that voted for him today. Well done, Michael. A great game. And, man, a very few words. Yeah. And the last thing we have to do is fairly obvious. President of the Gridiron Queensland will now present the winning trophy to the coach of the Spartans, and the captains would like to attend would be fine. Thank you. The Sunshine Coast Spartans 2014 Sunbowl champions. Yeah, at this time, we'd just like to throw back to the central commentary position and join us for the next game, which is the Senior Men's Sunbowl, very soon, 3:30 kickoff. But the coach of the Spartans would just like to say something before we do throwback, so just hang in fire there. Thank you very much.
Just like to thank the Stingrays for the game. I want to thank all the other teams in the league for the season. We had a pretty rough start, but we came home pretty strong, and it's nice to come away with the championship. Thanks to GQ for putting on the day as well. It's been a really good so far. So looking forward to the rest of the day. Also thanks to CrossFit Maroochydore, Pub Malula Bar, and all the other Spartan sponsors as well. Thanks very much. Oh yeah, and Rihanna, first girl to win a Colts Sunbowl.
Well done, Rihanna. So, Kenny, it's over to you, and then we'll see you in the for the second Sunbowl, which is the men's Sunbowl, and that's at 3:30, and that's between the Ravens and the Gold Coast Stingrays.
All right, thank you, Glenn Parker. I jumped in a little bit early there. But yes, no, congratulations to the Sunshine Coast Spartans, winner of the 2014 Colts Sunbowl. As Glenn Parker said, we are soon to be going on to the men's Sunbowl at 3:30. I'm Kenny Andres, joined with Glenn Parker when we get to the booth. We're going for a break now. We'll be back soon.